Hello there. Oh, that's amazing. About a month ago I put on a video about Stan Laurel and how he lived in Rutherglen, and it was such a great success. And if you've watched the video, you'll know that I tried to get into the Panopticon to see where he made his debut, but at the time there was a film being shot. Something's going on, and so I couldn't get in. But today I plan to rectify that. Today I'm going to go and have a look at Glasgow's Panopticon Music Hall, which is the oldest surviving music hall in the world, and see where Stan Laurel made his acting debut. And I'd love it if you could come along with me and share in this experience. Come on. But that's after I finish this pint. Oh. So today we are going to go into the Panopticon to see the very music hall where Stan Laurel made his debut. Here we go, into the Panopticon. Wonder if this is the steps Stan would have walked up. Entry. Wow. So there it is, folks. There's the stage where Stan Laurel made his debut. Right there.
Welcome to the Britannia Panopticon. See if I can ask you to look just below the level of the balcony. You'll see the ends of some horizontal beams. Where these beams met in the middle, this is where the false ceiling was until 2003. Judith, who we met on the way in there, she came here in the 1990s. She runs the place now. She came here in the 1990s and she had heard there had been a music hall in the building. She was determined to see behind the false ceiling. She was told, oh, there's nothing up there, it's just a wreck. But after much persuasion and campaigning, when this false ceiling came down in 2003, the full extent of the original balcony seating from the 1860s was uncovered. And when Judith went up there for the first time, she found old beer bottles, cigarette packets, souvenir Charlie Chaplin canes from the movies that had been playing here when this place closed its doors for the last time in 1938. It had been a cinema back then. In its heyday though, right, 1800s, early 1900s, of course there were no cinemas. This was a place of riotous live entertainment. If the audience liked what they saw on the stage, they went crazy with appreciation. If they didn't like it, it would be manure, fish guts, bottles of pee getting thrown up there. They used to bring this stuff in special. Now, it's not really a large auditorium, but they still managed to pack 1,500 people in here 4 times a day, and there were all kinds of things going on in the dark corners. Famously, there were sex workers plying their trade in the balcony, and especially up there in the balcony, right, this is where the men stood. And the men used to be so packed in up there, like sardines, that they physically could not get out to go to the toilet. So when they had to go, they'd unbutton their flies and pee on the floor. They know this because they found hundreds and hundreds of fly buttons up there beneath the floorboards of the balcony. Now, peeing on the floor was wrong. Even in those days, it was a faux pas. Amazingly though, this is actually something that helped to save the building. The chemical ammonia, which is present in urine, is a very good wood preservative. But more so than that, back in those days, so many of the theatres and the music halls, they burned down when someone was smoking and threw their cigarette on the floor. The ashes went between the floorboards and eventually created a big fire. But in here, because the floor was always swimming with pee, the cigarettes would extinguish as soon as they hit the ground. If this was not such a wild place, we might not have it here today to enjoy. And best of all, it's still a functioning music hall. They do song and dance shows, silent movies with a live orchestra and all the sound effects. Great drag shows in here too. And when the lights go down, you can still get a hit of the old magic. So we're always trying to get word out about the Britannia Panopticon. Come back here again, catch a show sometime, folks. There's actually nice merchandise for sale over there, or if anyone had a spare coin and would like to leave a wee donation, you can drop it in the pocket of the cutout of Stan Laurel at the door. And if you do need to go to the toilet, by the way,
yes,
you don't need to do what they did back then. There are toilets just behind that curtain into your right. Okay, so go and have a wee nosy round anyway, folks, and then we'll carry on with the Glasgow Gander walking tour.
Thank you. This is something incredibly novel and original.
And they would just go from one.
So I was travelling down to London one night on the coach. It was an overnighter and everyone was trying to get to sleep. But of course I can't go to sleep in a bed, never mind on a coach. So what did I do? I started to read a book with a little torch. Laurel and Hardy. Trying to stifle the laughs during that night ride down to London was very difficult. One of the things I read in the book was that Stan Laurel, or young Arthur Jefferson, was desperate to do an act in front of everyone. And he asked if he could have any time on stage. And he was told, okay, you can have 2 minutes. So what did Stan Laurel do? He decided to borrow one of his dad's coats, way too long for him, put it on and come out onto this stage. To tell you the truth, the joke that he told wasn't very good. However, when he looked out to the audience, who did he see sitting in the front row? But his father, who was of course the manager of the Metropole, which is just round the corner on Stockwell Street. Well, it was back then. It's gone now. Of course, when Stan saw his dad, this was Edwardian days, remember, he panicked and he flapped about this stage. Dad called him into his office, sat him down, and of course, in true Edwardian style, disciplined him for taking his coat without asking. Burst his bubble, if you like. Poor Stanley would have felt all dejected, ripping his dad's coat, having to pay for it, no doubt. But just before he was dismissed, told to get out the door, his father called him, Arthur? Yes, Dad? Don't ever give up comedy. You get the biggest laugh of the night. It re-inflated his bubble. Stan must have floated out of his dad's office that night.
Oh, and as for you, you'll suffer for this.
That's a lot of baloney.
There, sir. See here, above the contempt.
Come on, get out of here. We'll.
How dare you?
Who's this? I'll tell him all about it.
I shall speak to my... Jenkins! Come on, get out of here! We've had enough lunatics at last! No one gets over! And stay out of here!
So the Panopticon opened its doors in 1857. You can just imagine them all sitting up there, all shouting and screaming and booing and cheering, depends on how good you were, throwing down and all that stuff that that man was talking about. Yeah, you had to be good to play in Glasgow. That stage has seen quite a few people. You know, one of the crowd could have been your grandfather or your great-grandfather. You never know. Maybe you do know. If you know of anyone who used to come here before it was closed, a family member perhaps, way back in the day, I'd love to know.
Let's take a chance and do a new dance. For I'm cuckoo and you're cuckoo. Sing la 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 la. All the folks have all gone wild. Oh, what a howdy do. It is because two funny chaps thought of more something new. Side by side you start to glide. Forget all your troubles, let everything slide. For I'm cuckoo and you're cuckoo. Sing la 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 la.
By the way, Fatty, I've noticed lately that you're getting terribly sloven.
How do you mean, sir?
Well, you don't seem to have the dignity becoming of a lackey. No poise. You don't walk right or something. Let me see. Pull in your stomach. That's better now. Now throw your shoulders back. That's right. Now chin up. Chin up. No, both of them.
I remember hearing the story. It was a different theatre. I think it was the Alhambra. Anyway, it was one of the two Winters brothers. You remember Mike and Bernie Winters? It was one of those two about to go on stage, and he was terrified. He was waiting in the wings, and the stage manager was with him, ready to, give him his cue to go on. And he was petrified because he'd heard Glasgow audiences are ruthless. And in true Glaswegian fashion, the floor manager said to him, "Don't worry, you'll be fine, but just remember this one thing." And he went, yeah. Any tidbit of information he was glad to have. The floor manager said, "Everyone in that audience is funnier than you." Let's go up onto the stage. Well, can you imagine that? His dad was probably sitting down there somewhere. And young Stanley would have been flapping about up here on this stage. Wow. Well, that turn went well. I think everybody was thought I was quite funny. Even when I used to go to concerts as a teenager at the Glasgow Apollo, I remember, I think it was Francis Rossi from Status Quo, saying that Glasgow was the best place to play in the world. And these people have toured the world. But he said, if Glaswegians don't like you, they will let you know. But if they do like you, wow, what an applause you will get, what a cheer. And I'd imagine it was the same back in these days. Back when Stan Laurel appeared here in 1906.
At least a couple of months. Gee, that's great. This is the first time in my life I've had such a wonderful rest. No good!
where the performers would swing out over the audience. A few decades after that, there was a tumbling act here. One of the acrobats was a guy called Archibald Leach. Gave up the tumbling, moved to Hollywood and changed his name to Cary Grant.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's one of the tens of thousands of performers to have graced this stage. You've got to imagine what a place like this would have been like for a poor person to have visited in Glasgow back in the 1800s. They had no radio, no television, but they could come here and see acts from around the world. The name here, folks, is Britannia Panopticon. This is Latin and Greek for Britain see everything, and you really could see almost anything in here, not just on the stage and in the audience, but above the ceiling in the attic story there was a waxwork museum and a freak show, and for a while in the basement there was a zoo. Right?
This is awesome. This is an incredible building.
Not very good for the animals, but good for the poor punters of Glasgow. So, I mean, we're just so lucky we've got this place left. It's an amazing survivor, and so spread the word.
So I was expecting to hear of people like Harry Lauder, of course, Stan Laurel, etc. playing here. But Cary Grant? Wow. That I did not know. I did know he was called Archie Leach, and I did know he was from Bristol, but I did not know he played here at Glasgow's Panopticon. Up there on that stage. Do you know any of these people? As you probably heard, there was a zoo of sorts here at the Panopticon. I think it was down in the basement, the man said. These were often used in the acts, and they were there for the public to come and see. But one other thing that used to be here was, as you also heard, was a freak show. This was people with unusual attributes, some disabilities unfortunately. That's something that we abhor today, this kind of thing. But what you've got to remember is this was a society back in the Edwardian days and the Victorian days before that. And in actual fact, some of these people who were in these, freak shows, they were making a good living from touring around. Maybe they were extra tall or extra small. People were curious. It was a time of great curiosity. People loved to go and look at things that were unusual. It's something that we'd certainly not do today. Different days.
There's the truth in the rumour, surely they mentioned that people that didn't evolve to feed off of it. Yeah. What's your favourite fact about the? I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean that's the one we always tell everybody. Yeah, music's my thing. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I've been doing research. In fact, I've just taken it down actually.
And if you come here to see a show, it's even got a wee bar. I see there's a door up there. That must have been for Alfred the Great Levitator. Anyway, it's with great reluctance that I'm going to leave this place for now. Once again, there's the stage where young Arthur Stanley Jefferson, also known as Stan Laurel, made his debut. Up there, 16 years old, ripping his dad's coat. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully I'll be back for the Laurel and Hardy night.
Look out for you.
I might not wear my bowler hat, mind you. If nobody else is doing it, I'm not going to do it. Thank you.
You can always bring it in a bag.
I couldn't hide it and then... or I could have a few whiskies before I come in.
Actually, you need to have a bowler hat in the dressing up box.
Yeah?
So if you haven't got your bowler hat with you and you feel like wearing
And
a
I feel
bowler hat, just use
a bit of bravado coming over me. Thank you. Bye, Stanley. See, just before I go, can I just ask a question? Has that always been the entrance? Did the entrance...
The original entrance was over there.
Oh, right.
And then in 1868 they built an entrance on the Trongate.
Right.
And then in 1904 they built that as the first fire exit.
Right. So was there none on the front, on the facade in the Trongate?
And originally, no.
No, right.
In 1868 they put the Trongate facade, the Trongate entrance on, but until that point you came in through a pub.
Right.
The music hall is not a theatre, it's the back room of your public.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
So yeah, it's a different thing. It's the music hall act, not the theatre's act. It's the governance music hall.
Aye.
But no such thing as a music hall license exists anymore.
Right. And this is the oldest surviving music hall in the world? That's amazing. And so there you are. What did you think about that? That was amazing being in that music hall. You just get this feeling that you were stepping into history. And all these famous people, most notably of course Stan Laurel, playing in there way back, well over 100 years ago. Absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoyed that. Follow up to Stan Laurel living in Rutherglen. And now we've seen where he made his debut, age 16. In 1906. And so here I am back at the same pub. Okay, I never left the pub. I'm doing my intro and my outro together, then I'll split them and put the video in the middle. That's how YouTube works. So what did you think about that, being in that music hall and hearing some of the stories in there? Absolutely amazing. The atmosphere is tremendous, and I don't know if you heard, but there's going to be a Laurel and Hardy night. Did you say May the 16th, the Saturday anyway, and it's a matinee. So if I've got the time, I'm going to pop along to that. I remember going to a Laurel and Hardy night before. I think it was run by Sons of the Desert, or Sons of the Desert, something to do with it. I think that's the official Laurel and Hardy fan club. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I went along years ago to a Laurel and Hardy night and it was absolutely fantastic. So if you ever get the chance to either go to the Panopticon to see where Stan made his debut, or to go, even better, to go along to one of the Laurel and Hardy events, then I highly recommend it. But thanks for watching this video. I'm in this lovely pub. It's called 226 Gallagate. Finishing off this pint of Guinness, 0%. As always, apart from last week in Blackpool, because I didn't have the car. And I hope you enjoyed this, part 2 if you like, of the story of Stan Laurel. Until next week, you take care, and I'll see you later. Bye now. These are great places.